Championship, win number 3 in 2007.
Pick. 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag to win the Daytona 500. 3 and 4, make room. Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. There's another 7-time champ. Jimmy Johnson wins his 7th NASCAR Sprint Cup championship.
Welcome back to the Slide Job Podcast. I'm your host, Colton Smith, or Left Turn Central, here joined by co-host Ben Miller. And that's it again. We're just a two-man band once again. Josh and Bull, just busy men, just living the busy life as you and I guess, just aren't as busy. But we had quite a busy Sunday today as football got started, and the Bengals technically won.
1-0, baby.
I would call it a Browns loss, like I said before, but we are 1-0, and that's all that matters. A win is a win. We both got our Jamar Chase jerseys on. Then once that wrapped up, we had to get going on the NASCAR race. I missed the first hour, but caught back up via recording, and it was a really fun race. Gateway was a really fun race, but before we get into that, Ben, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, dude. Obviously a fun weekend. Got to watch some college football. Got to go to the bar at Dickman's, watch the Bengals pull out the dub. Ugly win, but, a win's a win. We're 1-0 for the first time since 2021. But what about you, man? How was your weekend?
Yeah, I caught up on that college football grind. A really good afternoon slate of games, honestly. Then I watched the Michigan-Oklahoma game, kind of saw where that game was going in terms of not much offense. So ended up watching a movie, tuning back in at the end, and realized I didn't really miss that much. So, but yeah, just kind of chilling, still living the unemployed life. Went and watched the Bengals game with some friends today, and just had a all-around good weekend, and ready to get going this week, trying to, work on improving some stuff professionally. So but yeah, don't know why I went on that rant, but let's go ahead and move along to the Gateway race recap, as I know, Ben, you have some notes to talk about. I got a couple of things I want to talk about, but Denny Hamlin gets it done again, winning his 5th race of the season. That is off the top of my head. I should have written that down. Win. He said 5th. Yeah, fifth win this season, and 15th top 10 as well. That ties him second in the Cup Series, but locking his spot, which was pretty well already locked, even if he didn't win, into the next round. He gets to go to Bristol, one of his best tracks, and basically play with house money. So you may have an idea where I go on Friday with my winner pick, because he's pretty dominant there. But that brings him with Chase Briscoe, who is also locked in. We'll talk about how the whole playoff standings have shaped up here in a little bit, but Ben, I'll let you go ahead and recap the race.
All right, so we got our top 10 results here from Gateway. Denny Hamlin getting his 5th win of the year, like you mentioned, Colton, with his JGR teammate Chase Briscoe in 2nd, Chase Elliott in 3rd, Ryan Blaney in 4th, Joey Logano in 5th, John Hunter Nemechek in 6th. Let's go Legacy. Christopher Bell in 7th, Bubba Wallace in 8th, Chris Buescher in 9th, and Ty Gibbs in 10th. And just some notable drivers, the rest of our playoff field, with William Byron finishing in 11th, Kyle Larson in 12th, Tyler Reddick in 16th, Austin Dillon in 18th, Austin Cindric in 19th, Ross Chastain in 24th, Shane Van Gisbergen in 25th, and Alex Bowman in 26th, and Josh Berry for the 2nd week in a row finishing in dead last in 36th. So just to get into the race recap here, lap 1, Denny Hamlin leads the field to green as he started from the pole. And then lap 27, Kyle Busch spins out of turn 2, bringing out the caution. And then lap 36, caution is out as Josh Berry spins and hits the wall after contact from Chase Elliott. Two bad weeks in a row for Josh Berry, looking like he has no choice but to win Bristol next week. But, it wasn't a whole lot going on in stage 1 as Chase Briscoe doing Chase Briscoe things, showing up with that speed, being consistent as he wins stage 1 at Gateway. And as we get into stage 2 on lap 61, Daniel Suarez smacks the wall in turn 1 after contact from Chase Briscoe. And then during the caution, though, as the drivers came to pit road, Chase Briscoe has a long pit stop, had a problem with the left rear. And so, yeah, long pit stop for driver 19. And as we get to lap 76, little brotherly love here as Ty Dillon spins and hits the wall after contact from Austin Dillon. And as we get into lap 134, Ryan Blaney spins after contact from Kyle Larson in turn 4. Didn't hit anything, just a spin. But at the end of stage 2, it was Bubba Wallace who had a really strong race car, winning stage 2 at Gateway. And getting into our final stage on lap 155, Bubba Wallace spins the tires on the restart, allowing Logano to take the lead. And then lap 156, another playoff driver in trouble as Shane Van Gisbergen spins, bringing out the caution in turns 3 and 4. And then 32 laps to go. Another bad break for Ty Dillon. I mean, the rough day continues as he hits the wall in turn 1, though. Apparently, he had a brake issue. And then with 25 laps to go, Denny Hamlin was able to get around Chase Briscoe and Brad Keselowski on the last restart. From that point on, he did not look back and takes the checkered flag for his 5th win of the year at Gateway. So, yeah, I mean, overall, thought it was a good race. But Colton, what were your takeaways from this race today at Gateway?
Yeah, you kind of glossed. Oh, I muted myself because I've gotten the habit because whenever I move in my chair, it makes those noises. So I try not to make those noises while someone else is speaking. Yeah. But anyways, to the point I wanted to talk about, kind of glossed over the Ryan Blaney and Larson situation. Had Blaney not recovered to finish 5th, I think we would have saw a much more heated conversation on pit road. But I mean, Larson just dumped him, just sent it into the corner. No real idea of trying to make the corner with just 6 laps to go in stage 2. I don't really know what happened there. I mean, it probably was a mistake, I guess. I'm assuming that's what Larson told him, obviously. But when you're compared to Max Verstappen, I used to kind of field those, but the more I watch Kyle Larson, the less I kind of believe that, especially seeing him in the Cup Series. But regardless, I'm not trying to say he's not talented. I'm just saying that there's some stuff he's got to clean up. But got lucky because I think if Blaney had not recovered, if he would have damaged his car, we would have seen a pretty heated conversation. But Blaney, pissed off, was able to work his way up into 4th place. Good 4th place finish for him. So that was something that I was hoping would develop into a storyline because I'm kind of getting tired of all of this. No repercussions for what happens. Like Chastain never got payback for what he did to Chase, and things like it's just kind of getting tired. I was reminiscing on old times when people actually, cared about what happened on the track, I guess. But anyways, Denny Hamlin getting the win. Another outstanding Toyota day. Denny first, Chase Briscoe in second, and then you go down John Hunter Nemechek, a top 5 threat all day long. Christopher Bell 7th, Bubba Wallace 8th, and then Ty Gibbs riding out your top 10. If you were not counting at home, that is 6 in the top 10 once again, just as they had last week. And Tyler Reddick was the next closest in 16th, but Chase Elliott, the only Chevy in the top 10. Now, Larson and Byron are right there in 11th and 10th, but Larson was around there actually when he wrecked Blaney. But the one thing about this race was the differing strategies, and that's something I just want to talk about this track as a whole because I was thoroughly impressed with the product that was put on today. I thought it was some of the best racing, or if not it was probably the best race that Gateway had produced thus far, in its 3rd or 4th race.
Yeah, fourth.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought it was really well done. The tires mattered, but they didn't matter too much. It wasn't to the point where if you tried a different strategy and you had about 10 or so laps different, we saw Chase Briscoe able to hold off Denny Hamlin, who had fresher tires. We saw that happen twice, actually, in the third stage, in the first stage, where Chase Briscoe was able to fight off, I think, Denny in the first stage. Actually, it was Larson that he fought off in the first stage. Larson had fresher tires, but Briscoe was able to maneuver a little bit of dirty air, maybe, but also was able to hold off. But Larson was able to use his tire advantage to jump 10 or so spots up into second place and get track position from that. So really a really healthy balance of tires wear. Tires do matter. If you stay out, you might have something to gain because you'll have faster speed at the back end, but wasn't so egregious. We had Briscoe taking 2 tires. That's when he was fighting Denny Hamlin, was with 2 tires, not even just older tires in general. So all in all, it was a very fun race. You saw the different strategies people would pit at different times, and that caused a lot of different leaders throughout the race. I think Hamlin led the most with 75, and the next closest had 73. So a very spread out race. We had comers and goers. And I think that's when NASCAR is at its best, when you don't really know who's going to win. We get into that third stage, and Hamlin, Briscoe pit, and who else up there? Logano about made me look like a right on something, but they all come down pit road, and they're technically fighting for the lead. But then you have Bowman and Keselowski out here on an absolute crazy strategy that probably wouldn't work, but they tried it anyways. And then you have Larson and Byron and a couple others who tried a strategy that was more secure, but had him mired back further in the pack. And then Ty Dillon decides to just shit on everyone's parade and blow. It wasn't his fault, but had that failure, and it kind of did ruin what was building there. But it still ended up being a very interesting race for sure. Hamlin getting the job done. I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on Gateway, because I very came out thinking very, very highly of the track that I considered going to, but I was able to get tickets and a pit pass for the same price at Martinsville that I would have had to pay for just tickets at Gateway. So financial decisions, get the most out of your money. But regardless, I'll have to make my way down to St. Louis at some point for sure on a day trip. Yeah. But shout out Chase Elliott, finally getting third place. Let's take a look at these playoff standings. Really did have a fast car. I felt like if he had a long enough run, he maybe would be able to make a move and get into a competitive for the win, but really he didn't see that happening. Still, I'm happy to see him in third, not 17th again. Really, Larson had a fast car, a top 5 car as well. So Hendrick did bring speed. Bowman was up in the top 10. Good Lord, I got to talk about him. Just kind of absolute collapse. But let's look, or another absolute collapse, because that's been consistent here. But I mentioned Hamlin and Briscoe are locked in. Kyle Larson is virtually locked in. I don't know if he's officially, because I think he could, in theory, score 0 and somebody knock him out. But I would say it would take some mathematical anomaly for Kyle Larson to not make the next round with 60 points above the cut line. Yeah. Bubba Wallace in 4th place is also in need of a very bad race and some magical thing knocking him out. 50 points above the cut line. Very comfortable and very impressive round from the 23 team. Like you said, won stage 2. Ryan Blaney is 42 points above the cut line. I would love to have that cushion. Byron, Reddick, Bell, all above 30 points above the cut line. 28 points, Chase Elliott. We have seen crazier things happen. Logano, I think, had about a 20-some point advantage going into Bristol and was able to lose it a year or two ago. Obviously not a year ago, but still, I like, as a Chase Elliott fan, I'm very comfortable where I'm at right now, especially considering Bristol is one of his better tracks. And then you have Joey Logano, 21 points above the cut line. It's Joey Logano. I'm pretty confident in him. Bristol's not one that he's had good races at Bristol, but it's not one that I can confirm he will have a good race at. But just being the veteran that he is, the guy who's able to survive in these rounds that he is, I'm confident he'll be fine. Ross Chastain, not a single headline in the first 2 races, really, other than consistency. And that's got him this far. That's what I thought would get him this far. 19 points above the cut line in 11th place. Austin Cindric finds himself right on the cut line. And really, I thought he was going to be able to capitalize on this race and have a much better cushion. But now he's just 11 points ahead. But what's very favorable for him is that his competition is Austin Dillon and Shane Van Gisbergen. And one of those guys potentially winning would be what would thwart them. Alex Bowman, we should throw in his name in there as a potential winner, but Lord knows we can't get that out of Hendrick. But Bowman had her. Dillon actually played some good strategy to end up 11 points behind. Shane Van Gisbergen wrecked, seems like twice, at least once. And then Alex Bowman had a speeding penalty. Claims, and I mean, I trust him, but he says that his lights were off in the car. It happens from time to time. Kind of weird. And Jeff Gordon did say that it was a failure on their part. It seems as though it's always, we keep on failing him on pit road. Bowman said it was an all around just kind of collapse because he was on that weird strategy and they pit right as the Ty Dillon caution came out. I don't think they could have capitalized on it, but it wouldn't have been perfect if they had 4 tires and didn't have to pit that very next lap. It would have definitely put the 48 in a much better position, but on 2 tires, you can't really stay out on that because they did have decent track position ish. Yeah. And then Josh Berry, you mentioned once again, last place, once again, an early wreck, putting him out of there. Questionable move by Chase Elliott, I will admit, definitely dumped him there. Don't know if that was intentional or not. Berry, shout out for him for being responsible and, not taking it too harsh. But of course, I said that with what I said earlier with Blaney. But yeah, so that's what the playoff standings are looking like. You guys have heard enough from me. Ben, what are your thoughts when you look at these standings?
Yeah, I mean, just going back to the top here, though, I mean, looking at these 3 Toyota drivers in Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, and Bubba Wallace, I mean, going into this weekend, though, at Gateway, I mean, this is a track that is owned by Penske, though. I mean, they had lots of success there, but this weekend, the Toyotas took over. I mean, we saw it in practice and qualifying, though. Obviously, Denny Hamlin getting the pole, winning the race today, getting his 5th win of 2025, leading a race high 75 laps. I mean, those Toyotas, they definitely showed out today. And, I mean, it's no surprise to see Chase Briscoe continue the momentum, though. I mean, as of right now, he's the championship favorite, in my opinion. I mean, I just feel like the last couple of weeks, he's been the most consistent driver. And, he didn't slow down today. I mean, he showed up, qualified second, had a fast car, and was able to finish runner-up to his JGR teammate, Denny Hamlin. And also another driver that I'm a fan of, not only the last couple of weeks, but the beginning of the playoffs is Bubba Wallace. I mean, we continue to see a different version of Bubba Wallace. I mean, he's having the time of his life right now at 23:11. I mean, this is the best that we've seen out of driver 23 in quite some time. And he just continues to bring the speed to the track and bring fast race cars, leading some laps. I mean, he had a strong car today, though. I mean, won stage 2, led a total of 73 laps, second most to Denny Hamlin, 75. But overall, it's been really fun to watch. Bubba these last few weeks, because he's a driver that can make it to the championship in Phoenix. I mean, it would absolutely not surprise me. But those are 3 drivers that stand out to me as we get further into the playoffs and at the end of our first round next week in Bristol.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace has definitely flipped the switch here in the playoffs, and it's very nice to see. I would add Tyler Reddick seemingly has, although he didn't quite get the finish. He did show some speed throughout this race, much better speed. Actually, early was the first one to really invent that outside line and show where that can take you. But once again, I do want to give a shout out to John Hunter Nemechek, another top 10 finish for the 42. Another great day. I mean, Jones was around there. He did not end up there. He ended up 21st, but he was around the top 15 a lot of the day. So got to give credit where credit's due. And guess what? Chris Buescher, another top 10, getting him, I believe, his 15th top 10. He had 14 last week, I believe. Still tied for the second most top 10s in the sport. However, not in the playoffs. Thank you.
That's such a shame. Yeah, that is such a shame. I mean, last 2 years, not only this year but the last 2 years. I mean, what could have been for driver 20 or not 27, driver 17. I mean, yep. But
Yeah,
it's just definitely disappointing. I mean, Busher, he deserves to be in the playoffs every single year, in my opinion. But
yeah.
yeah, it's just really unfortunate.
Just got to get a win, I guess. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, I mean,
But let's go ahead and move along here to our power rankings. I grabbed the wrong piece of paper. Where did the piece of paper I got it written down? Actually, I went in the opposite order. Sorry. I meant to say let's fly the flag here. It doesn't really matter what order, I guess, in reality. But let's fly the flag. We got 2 fly the flags this week. The first one is Denny will end his career 9th in the all-time wins list. To give you a little refresher on what the wins list looks like, currently Denny Hamlin sits at 11th with 59. Harvick is just in front of him in 10th place with 60 all-time wins, and then Kyle Busch is in 9th place with 63. So the prediction is that Denny Hamlin will get math, please. You got this. 5 more wins to officially make himself 9th. And in his career, he's already locked down for 2 more years. He's got 5 wins this year, so one would think even if he goes half of what he did, he'll be able to. But Ben, what do you think?
yeah, I mean, I'm flying the green on this one. I definitely think Denny Hamlin will get to 9th all time in the wins list in NASCAR. I mean, yeah, there's with 59, with him having 59 career wins today, and I mean, he's not far ahead from Kyle Busch's 63. And Kyle Busch, he hasn't won a race in over 2 years, and I just don't like the speed in that 8 car. But yeah, I mean, overall though, Denny Hamlin at 44 years old, what he's doing right now is absolutely impressive. I mean, he's still in his prime. I mean, this guy can still come to the track and be a threat to win races, and he can continue to be a threat to win a championship. And he just keeps on winning. I mean, he's leading all drivers in wins this year with 5, and I don't see driver 11 slowing down. So I definitely see him racking up more wins in the future, and yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting to see for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and it is worth mentioning Kyle Busch is still an active driver and could make that feat of getting in the 9th place harder. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and wave the green flag as well. I think Kyle Busch maybe has 1 or 2 more wins in him unless he rejuvenates his career some way, somehow. I think Hamlin has maybe even 10 more wins in him. That might be a bold prediction,
Definitely.
but who knows? If he races into his 50s as well, Dale Earnhardt is 8th place in all-time wins with 76. So I'm not saying that it's likely. I'm just saying it's not out of the realm of possibility, and that's pretty good company to be with from Denny Hamlin. It'd be really, really interesting to see what happens if he were to get that championship, because I think that's really what separates him from the conversations of some of the higher up all-time lists or whatever. We'll have to make one of those in the off season. It's been a while since I've gone through and done that. But anywho, our second fly the flag is that Connor Zilic is having the greatest Xfinity season of all time. Or sorry, greatest rookie Xfinity Series season of all time. And I was going to take it down a trip in memory lane, but I clicked off onto a different thing. So Ben, I'll just have you ask, and then I'll give off the stats.
Yeah, I'm definitely waving the green flag on this one. I mean, I saw this tweet on Twitter the other day, and I reposted it. With his win yesterday, Connor Zilic has won his 10th career race, 10 career wins and 29 starts, is only second quickest in the series history to Darrell Waltrip's 24 starts. And he's the 3rd driver in Xfinity history to win 4 consecutive races, joining Sam Ard in 1983 and Noah Gragson in 2022. I mean, winningest rookie in season history. So there's no doubt. I mean, Connor Zilic is putting together the greatest rookie season in Xfinity Series history. And yeah, this guy is just absolutely on a roll.
I forgot Noah Gragson. You said 9 wins?
Yeah, Connor Zilic has 9 wins this year.
Noah Gragson.
Oh, Noah Gragson, my bad. I think no, not his rookie year.
No. I'm not. I'm sure. What I'm saying is, you said that Noah Gragson had 9 wins in a season, right?
I think. Yeah, I believe he did. Yeah, or actually, hang on. No,
I was saying you just listed it off was So
Oh no,
that's why I was
yeah,
good.
Connor Zillage, he has 9 wins this year. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm curious. What
Marvin
I was
Jones.
asking, I understand. I was just saying. You said Noah Gragson had 9 wins.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I was just commenting. Oh yeah, I forgot that Noah Gragson had 9 wins in his season.
yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I would say green flag on this one. The only one that came close was actually Ty Gibbs. He had 7 wins in his rookie season. But I'd say with Connor Zilic already surpassing him, I would say he's got that one in the bag. So
Hmm.
really, really impressive. He wins all the time, but he's struggling to celebrate that win. He might have to get a door, like just like an openable door that he just walks out of, like something like
Yeah.
that to maybe clean that up a little bit. But let's go ahead and move along to our overreactions from Gateway. I'll go ahead and start. It's not really like a hot take or anything that's blowing people's minds, but I think Gateway is absolutely becoming a staple on the NASCAR schedule and a race that I look forward to.
Yeah, 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 there's no doubt about that. But my overreaction coming out of Gateway is, I mean, in the every year in the playoffs, we see a non-playoff driver eventually spoil the field a little bit and go to victory lane. But I just have this feeling, though, with the role that Legacy Motor Club has been on the
Oh,
last couple of weeks. Yeah, I believe that if there's a couple of non-playoff drivers to try to get in the way of the playoff run with these playoff drivers, it's either Eric Jones or John Hunter Nemechek. I mean, I believe in these final 8 races. I mean, if they can play the strategy right, bring these fast race cars to these tracks, I believe they're going to spoil the field and they're gonna reach victory lane this year.
I like it. The way they're trending, it does feel like they're due. Eric Jones has been historically good at Bristol. John Hunter Nemechek, I don't know if he's historically good, but I know he was good. It's one of the places he's won in the past. So in the Xfinity or Truck Series, so Bristol could be a place to have circled. Toyota has been incredibly fast, and Legacy Motor Club is reaping the benefits.
Yep.
One thing I wanted to add, and I should have elaborated on my overreaction, is that I feel like just the whole vibe of the event, they have that iconic, now becoming iconic part of the beginning of the race where they have the explosions and whatnot. Like, I want to be there to see that in person. And being in the St. Louis area, I know it's outside of the St. Louis area by a little bit, but what track isn't outside of what area they claim to be in? There's a couple, but Richmond
Mm.
actually is pretty close in there. But I just feel like the whole vibe, it's becoming one of my favorite tracks on the schedule. So hopefully they're able to keep the racing, because the racing was really what was holding me back. It wasn't all that great. We saw some flashes here and there, but I think this race from start to finish had really good racing. Passing was possible. Tires were all over the place. Multiple groove. Like, let's keep this. Let's make this happen at more tracks, please. But let's keep this because it's making Gateway one of my favorite races on the schedule.
Yeah.
But yeah, and hopefully I make it out there next season. Anyways,
Mhm.
let's move along to our power rankings here. I'll go ahead and start with number 5 is Chase Elliott for me. Had all Toyotas on my power rankings last week. I could honestly keep Legacy Motor Club after yet another top 10, but I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott here. Uh, he was competing for a regular season point championship. Had a terrible start, but or with a terrible start at Darlington, but turned it around with a great race at Gateway. Didn't start that way. Started 19th. This is also a track that has not been. He said he never had a good groove with this track. I think he found his groove here at this race today, and finishing third place, getting stage points, getting that nice cushion. That's what I want to see. That's what he has to do each round if he's going to stay alive. As he's probably not going to win a race, no, with how the season's been. Hopefully, he does break that trend. But if you're not can't count on winning a race, you got to be consistent. You have to be able to build a gap between you and that cut line. That's what he did today. He will hopefully continue to do that in Bristol and make it to the next round, and then start anew and not start poorly in that one. But then Roval is obviously one I have circled for a possible win. Went way too long on my Chase rant. Let's go Kyle Larson at number 4. still, or like I said, pretty well virtually, I think mathematically, into the next round unless something absolutely stupid happens, which it won't. So Larson's locked in. Quiet, I would say, throughout these first two, except for dumping Blaney. I'd say he's been fairly quiet throughout these first two races, but consistent, getting the points that he needs to make it to the next round. That's all you can really ask at this point. Now to the Toyota Fest. Bubba Wallace is in my number 3 spot. Had a great stage win, had a fast car, had adversity, missed a shift, ended up back mired in the pack, worked his way back up to 7th place. And I believe 7th place is where he finished. Still a top 10 day at the very least. And really looking incredibly fast. And then at number 2, I have Denny Hamlin. Hamlin won the race, finished top 10 at Darlington. But my number 1 has to go to Chase Briscoe, who won the race at Darlington, obviously finished second today, but didn't have necessarily the second best day of anybody. He did win stage 1, was able to do that pretty well on skill to hold off Larson. Once again, had to be on different strategy to get into second place. Really, honestly, was wondering if he was going to hold him off for the win, if not for that caution after taking 2. So just another gritty, great day from Chase Briscoe, and that's why he stays atop of the power rankings. Like you said, he is the front runner for the championship here, thus the playoffs. But Denny Hamlin is definitely right there with him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those Toyotas and JGR, they're off to a hot start in these playoffs. But anyway, going into my power rankings this week, I got driver number 11, Denny Hamlin, our Gateway winner, at number 5, picking up his 5th win in 2025. Had a strong car all weekend, winning the pole and winning the race, leading a race high 75 laps. And just looking ahead to the next week, heading into the next race, Bristol. I mean, that's a place where he knows how to win. He knows how to get around. I mean, he always brings really fast cars to that track, always up front, always leading laps. And I feel like next Saturday night, he's definitely going to be a threat to win. And coming in at number 4, I got Kyle Larson, finishing 12th at Gateway, but he had a strong car, leading 52 laps, looking like the Kyle Larson that we were used to seeing, though. But overall, great performance, and he's another driver that we got to keep an eye on for Bristol, because when you look at this race today, like I said, he led 52 laps, looked like he had a strong car early, but unfortunately didn't get the result. But overall, though, I feel like this is going to be momentum as we head into a track where he knows how to get around. He's won the last 2 races there, led over 400 laps in the spring. So there's no doubt in my mind that driver 5, he is going to be a factor next week in Thunder Valley. And then so we flip the page here. Number 3, I got the 23 car, Bubba Wallace, with a 8th place finish today. I believe it is his 6th top 10 in the last 8 races. Had a strong car today, winning stage 2. Led the second most laps today compared to Denny Hamlin, leading 73 laps. Spun the tires on the restart, losing some track position. And I just think to myself, if that mishap didn't happen on the restart, what could have been for Bubba Wallace to try to get his second win of the year. But overall, though, the momentum's there for driver 23, though. I mean, he comes to the racetrack competitive, always up front, leading some laps, showing a lot of flashes. So I like what I'm seeing right now out of driver 23, and he's got a good points cushion above the cut line. So yeah, look out for Bubba in Thunder Valley. And then coming in at number 2, I got the 12 of Ryan Blaney. I got the 12 of Ryan Blaney, finishing at 4th at Gateway. Spun after contact from Kyle Larson, though, but was able to recover from that to get another top 5 finish. This is another driver that continues to put together these good, consistent finishes the last couple of weeks. And overall for Blaney, he continues to bring strong cars at the racetrack. But I think they're going to continue the momentum. And then topping off my power rankings this week, no surprise here, it's Chase Briscoe. I mean, finishing second today to his JGR teammate Denny Hamlin, had a strong car, throughout the day. Continues to be the most consistent driver in the field, and yeah, I feel like the next few weeks they're going to continue the momentum. And as of right now, in my opinion, he's my favorite to win the championship. So yeah, I definitely like what I'm seeing out of the 19 car right now. So yeah, those are that is my top 5 after Gateway this week.
Yep. Very good top 5 right there. And we got a lot to talk about definitely coming up on Friday about what situations can play out. But at the end of the day, this kind of seemed kind of clean cut looking at the standings. A lot of just you got to win to make it to the next round. But is there anything else you want to bring up or wrap up before we wrap up the show?
I mean, obviously we're a NASCAR podcast, but got to give a shout out to the Bengals today, 1-0 for the first time since 2021. Who day?
Who day for sure.
Yep.
Purdue 2-0.
Yep, there you go. Boiler up. There you go.
Boiler up. Yep, totally has nothing to do
Kentucky
with
lost this. Yeah, Kentucky lost this weekend, but Ohio State got the dub. Let's go Bucks. Oh. You okay there?
Let's wrap up the show. You're lucky Josh is not on this podcast, buddy. Thank you all for listening. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and comment down below your guys' thoughts. Josh, please let us know what you think about that revelation that we have a Buckeye fan amongst our ranks. I don't know if you're allowed back on the pod. Follow me at LFC__99 and Ben at Ben Miller PXP. Check us out at CX Podcast Network on Twitter and anywhere you get podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.